Hey, everybody. Let me know if you can hear me. Oh my God. Look at all the people. Oh, thanks, Annabelle. It's called It's Sky. I appreciate your comment on one of my videos. Thank you very much. Wisconsin Mama. Bob, hello. Always a pleasure. Rakes. Wisconsin Mama, I sent you a link. It would be awesome if you would join me. Holy moly. Hello. I like your name. That's cute. So what's been going on, everybody? We'll wait and let some people get in here first. Sure, a lot of things going on the YouTube streets, isn't there? Everybody seems to be fighting everybody else, and I just try to stay out of it. You know what? People are not, other than me, of course, are not always what you think they are. Hi, Felicity. Welcome. Worcester, UK. Holy moly, yes, that is Dawn. So was the Canadian woman lying about the bones, ash, and hair? A couple of people said that they called TBI, and they said they didn't know anything about it. I asked, what's her name? That reports on Summer, and she is going to check for me, and she hasn't gotten back to me yet. But she said they hadn't heard anything. WJHL. Hey, Chris. So what am I then? I don't know. Are you in blue? I can't see that. So, it doesn't appear that anything connected with a body was found. Didn't that look like horsehair to you? It looked like horsehair to me. And I don't know, I heard chicken bones. What is my cat irritating me? So her saying that that could be Rose Bly is just on par with Daisy finding Rose Bly alive, as far as I'm concerned, in my opinion. Rose Bly is not buried on Fred Hill's land in Tennessee. Rose never even went to Tennessee. Oh, hi, Rakes. Annabelle, who you're laughing at? I know, she did say, and she said Rose. Well, now she's going back on that. Now she's saying that she didn't say it was human. However, Angel Talks Too Fast videotape. She's got a clip of it, her saying that it was human bones. And she also said that it's very possibly Rose. Where she got that, I have no idea. If everybody emailed photo and details to everybody on their contacts, I'm yeah. That is, yeah, not haha funny, but yeah. Seriously? I don't think she's followed the case very much. I don't have any idea why she would think that would be Rose. Because Fred said that he saw Rose there? I don't know. I think she's just reaching. Oh, just a minute. I got a cough. Excuse me. I'm having a problem breathing today. So, what I wanted to talk about tonight was some things about Rose and her case and some rumors. So I guess the fact that there were people at the party that she was at that night that gave, reports to the police, and people that, I don't know, people that were there, people that were meeting her at that party, doesn't seem to be enough for people. They still try to think, hi, Tree. Oh, hi, Wisconsin Mama. Weren't you here earlier? Or is there a fake Wisconsin Mama? My goodness. Oh, no, that was you. That Theyre from Another Realm said that it was very possibly Rose's bones. Hey, Scalded Sky. So I thought we'd just go through, and I want to do this for summer in another live, probably next week. But let's just go through the possible suspects and talk about, means, motive, and opportunity for each of them. Hi, Betty Smith. And then I also want to, probably every 2 weeks, I want to do a live on an older case, missing persons, different missing persons cases that have always interested me, that I've always followed, that are just really baffling. And so I will put in the community page ahead of time what case we're going to be talking about, and then some links. I know I prefer to read, but I know some people like podcasts, so you can kind of study up on the case ahead of time, and then we can all discuss it on a live. So I'm open to suggestions too. Hi, Mississippi Mud Pie. That's an interesting name. So, yeah, there's some, cases I followed for decades, and just some that are just very interesting to me. And I just thought we could put our heads together and see what we could think. Yeah, Chris is here. Chris is me. Okay, so Wisconsin. Yeah, it's crazy. Okay, so let's start with who do you think would be a suspect mentioned in Rose's disappearance? Chris. People say it's suspicious that he filed for divorce so quick, but he had filed for divorce before that, so he didn't want her to come back and take the kids. So his lawyer recommended that. She called him after she left the house that night, and he was home and received that call, and phone records back that up. So she was in the car and he was at home. And there's also a piece of evidence that proves that she did tell him she was going to meet her cousin. I don't. Oh, yay. Wisconsin Mama, did you really say? So, I mean, if he did something to her, he wouldn't have had to have filed for divorce because he knew she was coming back, right? And then I saw someone say, well, he just did that to throw everybody off, to make them think that. Okay, whatever. So he was cleared. And I know that the next sheriff kind of backtracked on that. And there is a reason for that, but I can't address that at the moment. So Chris didn't really have a motive that I know of. And it's very puzzling because, he filed for divorce after she was arrested for that domestic violence. And that, people said that's a he said, she said. However, there was a third party there at the time that saw the whole thing and had to hold Rose in a bear hug until the cops got there because she was so out of control. And then one of the cops told her sister they thought she acted like she was on meth. So I don't think they tested her, but it was a little more than he said, she said. So, yeah, toaster oven. I know. Hi, me, Mom. Hi. Ain Patrick from Ireland, right? I think I'm remembering that correctly. I think I did think he did it, but I think he was just involved in the cover up. I think that's why things never really got investigated because they didn't want that coming out. He should have recused himself from the investigation as far as I'm concerned, but there's a lot of funny things going on there. Oh, I'm thinking you get turned down for events. What does that mean? The events. You get turned down for events. What does that mean, Toaster Oven? Oh, I guess I missed that. I don't spend a lot of time watching different creators anymore because it just seems to be a lot of arguing. And today there was a lot of mudslinging. Seems to be pretty easy to call people child traffickers nowadays. That seems to be trendy on YouTube. And it's pretty sad the people they're drawing into it. That's kind of hard to take back. And why would you say something like that with no proof? I don't understand that. Oh, Tennessee missing. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Toaster Oven. Yeah. There's a lot of hate towards the Wells. That's for sure. Yeah. Actually, I think they need to call a grand jury and get everybody that was at the party and everyone that knows something on the record. People are afraid to talk. Grand jury is sealed, and they can go in there and tell what they know and get this thing solved. Kind of tired of it all. Okay, so Chris, then we'll go to Candy. For some reason, people think Candy killed Rose. Yeah, that's why. Why? What would her motive be? I mean, Candy loved all of her girls, even though she did leave them. She did love them in her own way. Candace most of all, but, Rose was her baby. So, Chris, you don't want to talk about Candy? She doesn't have any record of violence that we know about. I don't think anybody's ever accused her of any type of violence. She comes at in other ways, calling YouTuber ways, calling CPS, calling, reporting you for this and that. Yep. Oh, hey, Kate, you. Welcome. There's a certain YouTuber who's yes. Oh. There's more than. Did you see what went on today, Bob? It was pretty disgusting. Yeah. No, I don't think she hurt Summer or Rose. No, I don't think she would. And I know people think she would. There's really, I guess, no way to prove that she didn't do it. But yes, she does advocate for Rose. There's no denying that. She advocates for Rose, but not for Summer, which is interesting, but I don't think she had anything to do with Summer. Chris. But that's you hitting her. She didn't hit you first. What happened today, Toaster Oven? Should I say creators' names? I don't like to bash any creators, but I guess you can go look at it. It was Carl, Enchanted Life Path, and Tiffany Marie. And they were on Benny's channel, and they did a live and accused some other creators of being child traffickers and into child porn, and it was pretty nasty. Actually, really nasty. It was a bloodbath. Yeah. I don't know. It's just trendy to throw that out there now, I guess. I try to stay away from it because I don't want to be caught up in that. I've been caught up in things before, and it's not very pleasant. Yes, Carl. It's from London. He's the one that is posting about mystery angels. Do you want to talk about that for a minute? I always thought she was creepy. I knew she was lying about, her disabilities, her situation. Yeah. Oh, you did? Kate, you believed her? She did have quite a following. So, the people that knew she was lying kept quiet. I certainly didn't say anything because, I didn't want people jumping on me. There was going to be backlash if we said anything. So nobody said anything. And then Carl kind of came out with it. So then I posted that she was singing on a site that, posts, you can post duets with a person or whatever. I never thought she could sing either. But, she made things up. I don't know anything about her with the child trafficking. That's all Carl's thing. I just know that she was, a liar. She wasn't anything like what she portrayed. Yes. Oh, yes, she is alive, and she was not terminally ill, no. She's got, I think, 7 different Facebook accounts under different names. She allegedly had a wife that died, but nobody seems to have ever actually met her wife other than on gaming sites on the internet. And she said her wife died and left her with 5 kids. So where are those 5 kids? That's what I'm kind of interested in. I couldn't find any record of her wife. It's just kind of a mystery. I wonder if she was her wife too. What I know about that is that on her children's channel, someone called in and she allegedly, this is her excuse, thought it was an adult putting her on. And she said, "Oh, do you want to come up here and show me your pee-pee?" Well, that's kind of a sick thing to say. And even if she did think that was an adult male, that's a children's channel. Children are listening to that. I just was in disbelief that she said that. And so that kind of fits in. I guess I believe what Carl says. She deleted all of her children's channel. She deleted her Facebook, her Mystery Angels Facebook. So yeah, she made up. She would post things like when she accused Candice and Don of poisoning his mom and stuff. I would call her on that, and she said, "My channel is not facts. I never said my channel was facts. It's a story." So a lot of people believed her stories. And when you look at how many adults were taken in by her, imagine if you were a child. You can easily see how. Sorry, my cat's driving me nuts. Get out of here. You can see how children are taken in by people on the internet, because look at, these are adults that were, I must say, groomed, bewitched by her. And they're well aware that people on the internet are not always what they seem to be. Oh, yes. Chasing did not appreciate being drug into that. Lip Lock was another person that they are accusing of defending child traffickers. Chris. I had a pumpkin pecan concrete mixer at Culver's today. My first one of the season. Oh, okay, Toaster Oven, come back. Yes, people, yes, are bewitched. That's, I think that's a good word for it. It's almost like a cult. I know a certain creator that doesn't really do anything for summer, but say that they do things for summer. And yeah, they have a pretty cult following too. I don't get it. Hi, Deborah Ann. Oh, pumpkin pie. You never had pumpkin pie? Oh my goodness, how can that be? How about squash pie? You've never had Felicity? Do you live in the UK? Oh, Deborah Ann, I'm sorry. Are they going to let you out? Are you going to keep you overnight? I hope it's nothing serious. Yeah, I've been doctoring a lot lately, too. I love pumpkin with pecans, pumpkin praline, sweet potato pie. It's all about the same. Oh, I'm sorry. Gee, I hope they get that taken care of. Yeah, pneumonia's nothing to mess with. Oh, I'll say a prayer for you tonight. That's kind of sad that you don't have pumpkins. Okay, so let's get back onto our topic. So, Candy. Let's go to Chris Marcos. Chris Marcos is no doubt a predator, a pretty dangerous one, in my opinion. However, he was living in California with his wife, who I think was his girlfriend at the time, when Rose went missing. So he's out. He's also eliminated from Summer, so. And I don't know why he would drive down to get Summer anyway. I mean, if there's little girls in Wisconsin. Well, applesauce. My mom always made a lot of applesauce. Yes, a very bad guy. However, not a player in our mysteries. So then let's go to Candace and Don. Don never met Rose or Chris. Candace never met Chris. They did not come to the wedding. They did not come to the funeral. Candace didn't come home very often. They were living in Arkansas at the time, but, Candace said they were between states, so they could have been going to Tennessee to visit Don's mom at the time. I'm sure they went back and forth for a while, allegedly. But anyway, Candace was not in Wisconsin. And she was 8 months pregnant then or something? Yeah, she's not going around killing people. Especially when you think about how lazy she is when she's not pregnant. Sorry, I'm saying that. That's not very nice, but Candace did not go to her dad's funeral. She kind of just left Wisconsin and in her rearview mirror when she left. She joined, after she broke up with Andy, she joined that Magic Mike's Magical Midway, Magic Mike's Midway, something like that, which I believe is just local in Wisconsin. So then she must have joined another carnival that traveled around, because she ended up in different states. And then she said she got stranded in St. Louis, and then Candy rescued her there. Oh, Chris. I'm like, what the hell is that? Okay, so Candace and Don are not suspects in this, and they have no motive either. People keep saying that Rose was, had custody of Candace's kids. That is not true. That Rose called CPS on Candace. That is true, but that was 6 years before Rose went missing. I think that's water under the bridge. I mean, did Candice really care? It just freed her up to live her life. And Rose had gone down and visited Candice in Arkansas before Candice got together with Don. Well, she was with one of her previous boyfriends, so oh, that's interesting. Scalded Sky. I know when I run a background report on people, it tells how many RSOs there are within 10 miles, I think, or 100 miles. But you'd be surprised that there's over 100 on at least half the people I run. I think people don't realize they're surrounded by them. Where do they all come from? It's just like, I think we're hearing more about it now because of social media. I don't know. Back in the day, we didn't report things like that. You go on about her. Who is her? Candice? We're talking about Rose right now, and possible suspects that people think had something to do with Rose's disappearance. I'll tell you, machete attacks are horrible. Yeah, it seems like crime is getting worse everywhere. And I think it's a lot to do with, anger management. Kids these days are used to getting their way immediately. And that's the parents' fault. They give them everything. The world didn't used to revolve around kids. I mean, it used to be a marriage, the parents and their marriage came first and then the kids. But now it seems like they just cater to the kids. Give them anything they want. I know kids that never had to work, never had to mow the lawn, never, did a little laundry, never did anything. So they want what they want when they want it. And if they don't get it, they're mad and they strike out. So, that said something about poisoning. Mystery Angels, Chip Atkinson, she had a YouTube channel, and it's still up. Mystery Angels. She spelled angels Angels. And then she had a children's channel, Junior Mystery Angels. That's the one that is in question. And then she had Chip and what was her dog's name? Oh, I can't think. She had one with her dog. Thank you, Kate. I think that's true. I think we need, more intensive anger management and letting them know what delayed gratification is. Instead of making the kid work and save up their money for something, the parents just give it to them. So, why would they have to work for anything? Just hold their hand out. So, anyway. Yeah, I can get all that information too. Guardian. Yes, Felicity, thank you. Chip and Guardian Atkinson. Yes. She had a channel for that too. I don't know if that ever had anything on it, but yeah, the children's channel was creepy. I thought she was kind of creepy anyway. but that's just me, my opinion. Her voice was kind of creepy. It was kind of seductive, actually. So, I don't know, but you'll have to check Carl Enchanted Life Path and see what he has to say. I don't know anything about that. Okay, so continuing on. Who's another possible suspect for Rose's disappearance? Genie. So let's talk about Genie. I don't like to talk about Genie. Genie doesn't like me to talk about Genie, but we're going to talk about Genie because there are some people that seem to try to put forth things that make you think Genie killed Rose. So one of those things is that supposedly, allegedly, at a party, Genie was drunk and blurted out that she had killed Rose. And depending on who's telling the story, either her husband or Chris covered her mouth and told her to shut up. So there's several problems with that. The person that tells that story, the party was at her mother's house. Her mother said that never happened. Her mother and her sister both say that she has a grudge against Genie because Genie dated her boyfriend. And so they both say she's lying to get back at Genie. She has an axe to grind. So I think when your whole family says you're lying, you're probably lying. And that's her story. The other problem with that is the party they're talking about was the year before Rose disappeared. The party the year Rose disappeared, Genie and Rose were not even invited to. So nobody was expecting them there. And none of these people that are being talked about were there. So Genie's not going to say she killed Rose a whole year before Rose goes missing. So I think we can pretty much debunk that. That story hangs on now. You know, rumors get started. And then it's hard to stamp them out. No, I don't either. I mean, they didn't have a reason to. Okay, so then let's go to Uncle Warren, because I saw alive today, hi Eve, that tried to say Uncle Warren was the reason that Rose disappeared. And she talked about Rose Warren's arrest. He got arrested in 1984, was his first conviction for sexual abuse. And then in 1994, he got charged with 8 counts of incest with a child. So this person's trying to say that that was Rose. And it was not Rose. I know who it was, and I'm not going to say. I know the whole situation, and there's a reason why that record is sealed. I haven't seen anybody ever come close to guessing correctly, so let's not guess. And even if that was Rose, we don't out victims of sexual abuse, do we? Unless we're Chris McDonough. However, it was not Rose. I know that for a fact. Bushwatcher. Bushwatcher. That's interesting. So, Rose was not set to testify against Warren when she went missing. She never met Warren. Candy never let any of the kids around Warren. And I'm not going to go into the reason for that either, but none of them ever had anything to do with Warren. This person said that that's where Candy went, as a fact. Repeated it several times, that Candy went to Wisconsin to help Warren when he got released to the halfway house. Candy didn't go to Wisconsin at that time, and she definitely didn't go anywhere near Warren. So Warren doesn't have motive, means, or opportunity. So I think we should just leave him out too. Okay, so have we covered everyone? Anybody have any other suspects that we need to talk about? People try to connect her car being in the parking lot and how close that is to this and that and the other thing. Candy lived close to there. Grantsburg isn't very big, so pretty much everybody lived kind of close to that parking lot. And where her car was found doesn't have any relation to where her body is. Her body did not leave the party in her car. And her car wasn't found until 5 days later. So it's not like the body was just in the trunk that whole time or whatever. I have a lead on where the car was for a week. Someplace pretty close to the party, where the party was held. Two people said they were driving around in Rose's car, 2 men, and someone saw Rose's car with 2 men by the side of the road with the trunk up. Just a minute while I strangle my cat. Okay, I'm back. What about any of her old friends? Okay, I do know some of her friends. I talked to some of her friends in town, old friends and neighbors. But I don't see where her friends would have any reason to. Well, someone did at the party, had a reason. What that reason is, I still haven't figured out. Thank you, Deborah Ann. Kitty, they're really getting on my nerves lately, and I don't know why. I think they think I leave the house too often. Yes. Unfortunately, there's rock solid proof that she was involved in drugs. I don't know if she's taking drugs. I guess I could try to find out, but I don't think that the using drugs is what contributed to her death. I don't know. I think someone drove away with her body before the 2 friends that were meeting her there got there, because she was already gone, but her car was there. And the guy that lived there said, oh, she left with a guy. So she was gone. Her car was there. I think she was taken away. I know the person that said they did that, but I don't have any way to prove that either. So a lot of people were at the party, knew what was going on, knew people that were at the party, and, have given those tips to police. So, oh, Chris, are you there? I think that's a good guess, Deborah Ann. It was something. Yep. You got it. Yeah. She came to Chris's work on payday to get his check at lunch. And Chris's dad gave her money whenever she asked and bought her whatever she wanted. But as far as extra money, I don't know. Do you think she stashed any of it away, Chris, or did she pretty much spend it? Well, it doesn't matter because she didn't run away, right? So it's not like she needed. Yeah, I know. I remember you telling me about the secretary at your job that saw her. Yes. Law enforcement. Yes. I don't know why people don't want to believe that somebody said, why would she be seeing someone else when she was married? Like, people that are married never have affairs. They actually do. And the person she was having an affair with was married too. So, but I think that's more towards the cover up. It's kind of interesting that there's a cover up in both hers and Summer's cases, don't you think? And that's why we're not getting any results. Well, but was she selling drugs for herself? Or, was she selling it for someone else? I don't know. That's still to be determined. But people are digging into that. Yeah. Yeah, she was. Chris didn't know that, though, until afterwards. He didn't know about a lot of things until after she went missing and law enforcement told him. She could have gotten drugs out of it. I don't know, but that's a good point. I don't know. Have we talked about what the evidence is there? Did I tell you? I don't know. Yes, I think we all have done things that we would do differently if we had another choice, if we went back. Sometimes I wonder how I made it. I mean, you see all these accidents and things. I had one friend that in high school. His friends, he was drunk. Friends took him home, dumped him off at his house on his back, and then he choked to death on vomit. Why they would put him on his back, I have no idea. I know another friend in school that got killed in a car accident. I mean, yeah, you do crazy things because you think you're invincible. You don't think it's going to happen to you. Oh, that's okay. Hi, Jess. I feel bad for the husband. The husband is here tonight, in here, and the kids are doing good. He can probably tell you more about it, but he just said they were making cider or something, apple pie. I don't know. He's pretty devoted to his girls, actually, and does a lot with them. Takes them hunting with him and fishing and camping and does a lot of stuff. Just bought him a bunch of back to school clothes. Yeah, I think he's raised them right. Yeah, I think her mother leaving those kids affected all of them and how they turned out. You know, you never get over, I think, a parental abandonment like that. I know I was engaged to somebody for 12 years. His dad left his mom with 4 little kids, and that just haunted him. I mean, 40 years later, he's still like, why did he leave? He must have loved us. He named us all with his initial. He was just haunted by that. So I think, yeah, there are questions. Why? Why didn't they love you enough? So, and then Candace ended up in the foster home. Now there's somebody that needs some anger management. Hi, Vanessa. Bob. Apple pie moonshine. That actually sounds kind of good. I had a friend come from Iowa and bring me a case. I said I like this cherry poppin'. And when I was out there, I don't drink, but I was at Amana Colonies, and that just sounded kind of good, cherry poppin'. And so I said, does it taste like alcohol? So they gave me a little shot glass of it or whatever. And it didn't taste like alcohol at all. It was pretty good. It's apple, cherry, and rhubarb. And so I asked my girlfriend when she visited from Iowa to, bring me a 4-pack. She brought me a case. So if you come over to my house, you can have one. It's pretty tasty. Hi, Vanessa. I love your little butterfly. That's cute. Yeah. Moonshine. Let's see. Where are we? Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, that's terrible. Yes, therapy is good. Really. It just helps. I know even people that were resistant to therapy, when they finally go, they really feel good. It's just good to dump your problems out into someone else, I think. And even as you talk through it, it's kind of like what we're doing here when we try to figure out, these mysteries. kind of brainstorming and all getting together. That's kind of like when you talk to a therapist, you're talking and your brain's going at the same time, and little light bulbs go on sometimes, like, oh, I didn't think of this before. So drink away. Oh my gosh. Really, Annabelle? Yeah, it was interesting. Very interesting. I wish that I was, my health was a little better. I have problems with breathing. Still trying to figure that out. So I didn't explore as much as I could. But yeah, we had some good food. Those German potatoes, fried in, I think, apple cider vinegar or whatever. Oh my God, those things were to die for. Oh, thanks, Deborah Ann. Hi, Survivor 67. True Colors, hi. Welcome. Welcome, everyone. I appreciate it. Oh, yes. Alcoholism. Some children of alcoholics refuse to drink and some become alcoholics. That's interesting too. I don't know if that's a gene or what makes people make those choices. I don't know. I think it's just like if you grow up and your parents beat you. Some people beat their kids and some people swear they're never going to beat their kids. So I don't know. I guess it's a personal choice. I heard Candace said that at a party. Hi, Christy Cat. Candace said that. Are you saying that Candace said that she killed Rose? That came from Allie. And Allie was mad at Candace because of Jose. So did you see everything she said after that was trying to throw Candace under the bus? Although I hate that expression. But they literally do have a bus, so. But, yeah, she said that Candace said she killed her. Candace, she was buried under the driveway. Chris's kids pointed to the concrete and said, Mom's buried there. That was all made up. And the police actually had to go out with dogs and do a search, even though they knew that that was a joke. They had to waste their time and resources running that down because they have to check out every tip. So, yeah, that was a bad deal. But, yeah, I don't believe Candace ever said that. It was Rose's birthday, I believe, or the anniversary for missing. And Candy was crying. And Candace said, "Why are you crying? The bitch is dead." So somehow that morphed into Candace saying she killed her. But that's actually what she said. So, yeah, I think Candace likes too many people, actually. And then that is actually why when they asked Candace during her TV interview about Rose, and Don said, "Careful, your mother's listening." It wasn't because he thought she was going to spill the beans and say something about killing her. He didn't want her to say anything that would upset Candy. Didn't want her to call Rose a bitch again. And you never know, I'm sure, what Candace is going to say. Yeah, I think Allie. I don't know what I said. Uh, um, I'm at a loss for words here. Drugs definitely did. Yes, drugs did. That's I posted a confidential informant report on my community page that said Rose's meth friends killed her, and 2 other people also reported that same thing. And she went to a party that night, which was not in Cushing. It was actually in Grantsburg. Yeah, there's a lot, but I can't really say. I shouldn't. Probably get a call from law enforcement. Yeah, Allie, I don't believe anything Allie said, and then she got paid on top of it, so yeah, I don't believe that. Yeah, all those years. Yeah, there's a lot of liars. A lot of liars in both cases. I think in both cases it's locals with access to grind that are, blaming each other just to try to get back at them. Like with the woman that said Genie said she killed Rose. And her mom and sister say that she's just mad at Genie. So, I think a lot of that's going on with Summer too. I think, locals are mad at each other, and so they're accusing each other just to cause trouble. Kind of like Allie accusing Candace. So if you're mad at someone, I think that happens often in a murder. Women call in on their ex-husbands or their boyfriends or their husbands, and I think he did it, just to causing some shit. Oh, I don't think they have jurisdiction where I am, but you never know. Maybe I should stay. Yes, she lost her kids, Sherry. Too bad Andrew wasn't in here tonight. He was in here last time. Jeremy has a good effect on Genie, and I think he helped Genie. I think he's a great help, keeping her on the straight and narrow. But Genie doesn't want me to talk about her, so I won't. Yeah, Chris. Look at Chris. You know how long this has gone on. Chris, Genie, Candace, Candy. Look at them being accused all these years, 14 years of this. And all the bullshit going on in YouTube. Suddenly everybody's an expert on Rose. The husband did it. I see people saying that all the time. I'm like, really? Why do you think that? And they never get back to me. So, yeah, I don't think that True is very truthful either. Yeah, nobody helped Summer. Did they? I don't know. I heard the story about Candace hitting Summer in the parking lot at school or something, but I heard that was debunked. I don't know. That's just something that came up recently too, so I don't know. Chris, it's for you. He was. Genie was cleared too. I think they both took 2 polygraphs. Chris, didn't you take 2 polygraphs? I don't know if he's still here. And no, it wasn't because he didn't pass the first one. Genie either. I don't think people really understand how polygraphs work, but they give people more than one polygraph because they ask more questions. The polygraph, you answer, they ask you yes or no questions. The polygraph isn't really the point. It's the pre and post polygraph interview, and that's where they try to find out more information. Then they formulate some questions, yes or no questions, and it depends on what they ask you. They don't know what they're supposed to ask you, so later on they kind of narrow their focus and ask you a little different question because maybe you felt guilty, like you should have been there to save them or something, so that kind of affects the polygraph too. So then they can zero in on the next polygraph and ask questions a little more pointed to what they've discovered since then. Yes. Did you think, True Colors, did you think that I shouldn't have put that out? I don't know why people think that Candace owes us Summer's birth certificate. There is a birth certificate. It's in the suitcase with all the other birth certificates. But we don't have any right to see that. I don't know why people are trying to get that. What does that have to do with Summer being missing? What does it have to do with her? Somebody said all the kids should be given DNA tests. Why? What difference does that make? I don't understand that. I got a lot of information that I haven't seen put out yet. I got to go through some of my old screenshots and things. Thanks, Annabelle. Yeah, little Summer. Where is she? Oh, thanks, Deborah Ann. I never thought about the algorithm. I'm not making any money on this. I just like true crime. Ever since I was a kid and thought John Norman Collins was gonna come break into my house and kill me when I was a little girl. So I like talking about it. Yeah, I believe I don't know, maybe the last 3 kids were all born there, but Summer was, and I believe the youngest boy was for sure. The one before that, I do not know. And the one before that was born in Arkansas, so. Indian Path Community Hospital. Oh, hi, Crazy Chicken Lady. Love you. Glad you could join us. Yes, Candace really did refuse to talk to law enforcement. She was hiding in the house and wouldn't come out. Somebody was on the phone with her, or said they were on the phone with her. Was that Allie? So, who knows? Oh, thank you, Deborah Ann. Thank you. That's nice. Well, I think I am good at researching. I've had a lot of years of experience with that and genealogy. I think researching is like genealogy, where you find something and then rate it 1 through 3 on how reliable it is, and then judge your source and try to, get 1 or 2 other sources. Kind of the same thing with investigating crimes. Myrtle Beach Cop Walk. Hello. Oh, good night, Chris. Thanks for stopping in. Yes. That is ridiculous. And what difference does it make? The kids aren't stolen. And I don't think that there's any black market adoption involved either. I don't know. I know one creator says that, well, actually more than one, but one started it, saying that Summer was the only one under 8, and Don, that would have been his 3rd strike, and he would have went to jail, prison forever, 30 years or something, if he was found guilty of abuse of a child under 8, because that's an automatic felony. There's a few things wrong with that. Number 1, Sherry was charged with 2 counts of abuse of a child under 8, was not charged with a felony. She actually got pretrial diversion and had those charges dropped. So it's not an automatic felony. And the second part of that is that, according to Tennessee law, Don does not have any felonies. He has a drug felony, which doesn't count in Tennessee. And he has, I believe, burglary. But because that's a nonviolent felony, that doesn't count either. So Don doesn't have any strikes. So I don't think that was a concern. I think that's just, one of those theories. I don't know. Oh, no, she didn't. She didn't go out and talk to them. I know Don went down and took his lie detector test the next day, because there's a picture of him and people go, oh, look, he wasn't at work. He doesn't have drywall on his clothes. But that picture was the next day before he took the lie detector test. So that wasn't that night that he got home. I don't know. Did they go in the house? I didn't think she talked to him that night, but I don't know. I couldn't, Oh, are you talking about that bow tie with the bow tie and the chicken hat? I immediately thought of Crazy Chicken Lady when I saw that. That was so funny. I need that chicken hat. I actually was in a museum and they had a hat that had a dead bird on it. And people dared me to wear it, and I did. I have a picture somewhere. It was kind of odd why people put dead birds on their hats then. But Chronicles of Olivia. What? I read a strange comment in the comment section. It was about a lady walking her dog Oliver. What is that in regards to? Oh, good night, Felicity. Thank you for stopping in. Thank you. I hope it was interesting. How many people think Don and Candace are guilty? Well, I'm not gonna. Actually, I will. I think Candace had something to do with it. Possibly inadvertently. But that's just me. Strictly my opinion. Like I said, she could walk out of the woods tomorrow and I wouldn't be surprised. Literally anything is a possibility. Although I don't think anyone went out there and took her. Okay. Oh my goodness, Bob. Okay, I heard that it was Bly. This is just a rumor that it was Bly on her birth certificate, but when Don was in jail, he had, I think, Tim go and get the birth certificate, and he changed it to Wells. I don't know if it was Bly. I'm pretty sure the FBI would know that and put out Summer Bly. Although, who knows? Yeah, Don is Summer's bio dad. Oh my goodness. Bob. The guy might kidnap Summer after 5 years, though? And how would the guy know he was Summer's dad? I'm pretty sure Don is Summer's dad. I think Summer looks just like Don, that childhood picture of Don. I think they look pretty similar. In the neighborhood of Ben Hill Road. Oh yeah. Oh, I'm sure they do. Yeah, but they've never commented on the footprints. They really haven't commented on too much of anything. And when I was going over the TBI, the little thing on TBI, the facts, I noticed that they said Summer was reported by her mother to be last seen at 110 Ben Hill. They did not confirm that she was at the house. They did not say that she did walk away from the house, which I thought was interesting the way they worded that. So is it possible? I don't know. Let's talk about that. They were at Sonic. They were on the camera. The manager remembered Summer, so that was at 2:00, he said. Then they went to Priceless, and I don't know. They were there anywhere from 5 minutes to 35 minutes. Then they took Hunter home, which was about 2:45 from what I can gather. I know some people said 2 sharp, but we know that's wrong. So let's just say 2:45. So then it takes about, I believe, 45 minutes to get back to home to 110 Ben Hill. So did something happen there? I just think it's suspicious that Candice insisted that milk jug picture, which I think was taken a couple of weeks before that, was it taken at 3:09? What happened at 3:09 that she felt she needed an alibi for 3:09? So did something happen on the way home? I don't know. It's a possibility. What do you think? Yeah, there are a lot of, yes, Catholics. I'm Catholic. They have adoptions. They pay all your expenses, and you do not have to give up the baby, contrary to what, I heard a creator say, that if they pay your expenses, you can't leave with the baby. Yes, you can. I think probably every church, that's part of their mission. actually. The note was, who went there to interview her, and she wrote that note out on the hood of the car, but that was quite a bit later. I think that was even after Candy's interview, wasn't it? Okay. You could be right. I don't know. I can't imagine that I can't imagine that they didn't talk to her. I still think the youngest boy was the one that called 911 because they said family member at first. I know later they said the mom, but somebody kind of explained that kind of got garbled. I think that explains why mom went for a walk. If Candace called in, would she say mom went for a walk? No. I don't know. All I know, who was in here, Nana for Life, that said that Candace took the drugs over to Fred's at 4:30. So I think she called Don. I don't know. Did she call Don before that? Don would have told her to get rid of the drugs, right? Would Candace think of that on her own? And she said Candace drove over there. But yet, Don's coworker said he got the call that Summer was missing at 5:30. So none of that makes any sense either. Yeah, I think so too. Well, yeah, they were searching the house, right? So they had to have talked to her. No. Well, I know people say, oh, they need to, I know I read somebody said they need to take them in a room and beat it out of them. Well, you don't treat people that way. They don't have any just cause. You can't make people talk to you. You don't have to say anything to law enforcement at all, ever. So, they can't make them talk. Yeah, I do. I think she does look just like Dawn. I know. Well, maybe she looks like both of them. I know. So many people coming up with so many weird theories. I don't think, this is just my thoughts. I don't think Cotton had anything to do with it. I think Fred is a liar. Well, I know he is, because he said he didn't do drugs. And he knew Rose and talked to her. What else did he say? Yeah, he's a liar. I don't know. There's so much we don't know. Actually, we don't know anything. We know Summer went swimming, and that swimming video was taken at 12:21. That's all we know. TBI did confirm that. The tree trimmers said they saw Candace, and Summer leave at 8:30, right? 8. At 8. Because they got to the hospital at 8:30. They were at Sonic at 2. I think Chris McDonough confirmed that they were at Walgreens picking up the prescription at 1:29, right before they closed for lunch. Those are the only times we know for sure. Okay, what did you think? What did you see today? Yeah, I don't know. Deborah Ann, yes. I think drugs are involved either directly or peripherally with both Rose and Summer. Yeah, I don't think if, Candice and Don were addicts that Summer would have disappeared. But that's just my thoughts. Oh, Bob, please. No. I don't think so. I guess it's possible, but Don has blonde hair and blue eyes too, so do you really think that Candace is a hot property? Oh, yeah, he explains that on his channel about the wayward spirits, but I can't remember. Yes. Something did. I think you're correct, Kate. That's the time. I mean, it had to have, right? Because they dropped Hunter off. They dropped Hunter off at 2:45, and then Candace was taking the drugs over to Fred's at 4:30. Then yeah, something happened between 2:45, 3, and 4:30. I think that's as best as we can say. I think she might. I don't know. She knows more than what she said, but I don't know if she knows exactly. So, what does that tell us? She was in the trailer. She said we came out after the nap, right? Who's we? Was that her and Candace? Were her and Candace in there sleeping? Or napping or whatever they were doing? I'm not positive she took a nap. I'd have to look and see what I have a explanation. She sent a family member, not a fake friend. And I don't think she talked about planting the flowers in that explanation. Well, we know they didn't plant flowers, right? Because there weren't any flowers. I don't know. I think that Candy genuinely has feelings for Summer. And I think, people said they've seen her cry for Summer. Okay, so why does Candace have such a visceral reaction at the swimming hole? She did with Chris McDonough, and she did another time too. Was that during one of the vigils or the anniversary? That just seems to hit a chord with her. Although we know nothing happened at the swimming hole because Summer was seen after that. I wonder what it is about that. It seems to be a trigger. I think they might be guilty too, then thinking about how stupid they are. I know. Although they both have kind of a criminal cunning. Maybe it's just dumb luck that I mean, they could have taken Summer anywhere, really. I mean, that's a pretty wooded area. Kind of remote around there. I don't know. must have taken her farther away than the search. Didn't they search out 5 miles or something in all directions? I don't know. A lot of bodies just disappear and, are found 20 or 30 years later. I think that's how we'll find Summer if we do. Hunters or mushroom hunters, or what kind of root is that they dig up there and sell? People wandering around in the woods. I didn't know that you were a paranormal enthusiast. So you believe in UFOs, Bob? Aliens? Yeah, so many possibilities. Yeah, there's a lot of accident possibilities in that house too, I think, and around that house. Oh, Ansley Daniel, right? I think that's who I asked to check into, to check with TBI about the human bones that were found. Okay. Well, I think she's upset, and I think she got the hell out of there. I'm still trying to narrow down when she and Don would have went to Wisconsin. Okay, so Summer went missing on the 15th. Rose Meyer came down on the 17th. I don't know if she stayed 2 days. So that takes us 18, 19. So when did Don leave? Someone said he wasn't there for the first vigil. And Candy could have been gone at any time because nobody really knew where she was at any given time. I mean, I hate to say it, but did they take off to Wisconsin and, dump Summer? Why would they go to Wisconsin? Why would Don go to Wisconsin? And then definitely no one would find Summer. I agree. Yeah, I have an open mind too. And every once in a while somebody will come up and I'm like, well, that's an idea. I wonder if that happened. I mean, did Don come home earlier and then go back to work? I don't know. Yes, I agree. I think even where parents actually killed their child, they still go on TV and beg for their return. They make several appearances. Yeah, and the Wells didn't really do that. But, I don't know. Maybe, their reactions are dulled by, drugs and alcohol. I don't know. Yeah, I thought so too. Okay, Ansley, you're saying Ansley. That was Ansley that I'm probably behind. What did you never hear? Crazy chicken lady. I'm behind. I'm sorry. Okay, Wisconsin Mama, we agreed. Oh, I have a girlfriend that is into that. Okay, paranormal. Yeah, she goes to a lot of haunted places. Okay. Yes, Candace took the drugs over to Fred's. That was the delay in them calling 911. One of the delays. She's told several people that, and Nana for Life is a friend of hers, and she said that Candace told her she went over there at 4:30. Fred was not home at the time, but Chad Arnold, I think, that lived at the end of the driveway there, he saw her come over to Fred's when Fred wasn't home, which is kind of interesting about the backpack, I think. Did she take the drugs over in a backpack? I guess that makes sense because she probably didn't just have them in her hands, right? She put them in something. So, was there a backpack? Did the backpack have some of Summer's clothes in it? Wasn't it Fred's sister that said she saw Summer's clothes in Fred's washing machine? I think that's kind of sus because, I mean, like, she didn't tell the cops that 2 years ago? How does she know they were Summer's clothes? I don't know. I'm not sure I believe that, but the drugs in the backpack do make sense to me. So then Don went over there to get him back from Fred, and Fred, of course, did not give them back to Don. So, yeah, I wouldn't think that Fred would be a safe place to stash my drugs. Yes, Scalded Sky. I believe his boss said, I thought he said 3 to 3:30. He left at 3 and got back at 3:30. I don't know. He was working with people though, because they said he got the call that Summer was missing at 5:30. So he was at work at 5:30. Where he was before that, I guess we don't really know. Exactly. Yes. See, I am behind now. Because I think the backpack that was interesting because that fit into what I knew. And I just thought, yeah, she would put him in something, right? Yeah, it's not clear. And Don said that he called, right? So that would have been after 5:30. So Don would have been the second call. Did Candace even call? Or did Candace go to take the drugs and tell the youngest boy to call? And that's why he said Mom went for a walk. And why he didn't know Summer's age. I don't know, that's just my feeling, but dreamt about Summer. Are you a psychic or something Scalded Sky? Oh, that could be. Although I remember them saying search everywhere, even if they say it's already been searched. So I don't remember what day that was, though, but that kind of sounded like they might have suspected, or maybe not. Maybe they thought Summer was just hiding. I don't know. I don't think, I think that that's why Candace went over and asked him what he told the cops, because she wanted to know if he stuck to the milk jug story, because he didn't seem to know anything about the milk. And where he said he was sitting and where the milk was and where he moved the milk after he got out, that doesn't match the milk jug video. Things aren't where he said he put them or where he was. The seat isn't wet. He said he was sitting on the Skittles and they aren't melted. Nothing about the story of that day matches that picture or the video. I think so too. I think she does suspect. Well, there we go. She's obviously keeping her mouth shut. She did tell someone something, though. Yeah, I think so too. I don't know. Could be. I don't know. I don't know who we was. Well, they didn't even have to be in the bed. Who knows what they were doing in there, drinking or whatever. I don't know about the brace either. I can't see the brace anywhere. Don said he never saw one, but then Don's a liar, so. Yeah. Oh, I am way behind now, aren't I? Yes. So what about the water? I see since he fell back into drugs, yeah, he looked like he went downhill. However, I don't know if you were here when I said before, I looked at two obituary sites, Legacy and is the other one Dignity? And I have never seen so many people leave messages and say what a great friend he was, what a great guy he was. You don't see that. I've just never seen that many people say, how they liked him, what a good friend he was. So, I don't know. I don't know why Fred drug him in there. And why didn't Fred say something 2 years ago? No, I don't think so either. Ginseng. Okay, I'm way behind. Okay, I'm going to skip down. You in the bushes. Could be. What about the scream? Does anybody think that Jody Sue scream? Yeah, I don't. Where did Fred come up with the footprints and the dog hitting on his vehicle? I don't know. There's an awful lot of people coming up. Oh no. Oh no. Where are we? Why didn't he set the milk jugs on the floor? Well, he said he put the groceries in the back of the truck. I don't think he had any. I don't think he was in there that day. And I'm going to die on that hill. That was not the 15th. I'm sorry. That's my opinion. And I think I make a pretty good case for it. I mean, when Chris McDonough asked him about the milk, he went, the milk. Oh, yeah, the milk. Like, he didn't know anything about the milk because he wasn't there with the milk. Oh, yes, could be. I often dream about, I have pretty vivid dreams, actually, and remember them all the next day. But yeah, it's funny that I'll, actually, one night I dreamt that I lived in this big 3-story Victorian house and, oh no, I was visiting, and Candy and Val, her girlfriend, lived there. And I actually went to their wedding. And anyway, on and on and on. I thought that was kind of interesting because I eat, live, and breathe this case. The Fred Hill involvement is interesting. Yes. Is he making things up? Well, we know he's a liar. I don't know. It's hard to tell. Oh, that's what I was just saying. I'm in the house with Candy Val. Well, Candace is a liar, too. Well, no, Wisconsin Mama Fred said he didn't do drugs. No, I don't either. I got in trouble for talking about that, though. About the milk jugs. That boy had way more than one twisted tea. Yeah, but then he went to the doctor. And I don't think he would have went to the doctor if he was intoxicated, especially when he's on probation. Do you? That's kind of throws a monkey wrench into that. Of course, he's a big boy. If he did have two twisted teas, and that's not really very strong alcohol, is it? I don't know that much about it, but well, then he would have went to the doctor about 3 hours later. So, right? He's drinking at 12:21, and then yeah, at least 2 hours later. So, yeah, I think so too. It came out. The scream came out quite a bit later. I can't help but for some reason like Fred. You like Fred? Okay, Ziggy. I guess we don't know anything for a fact, Deborah Ann. No, that was the story. His girlfriend's mom picked him up, took him to the doctor. Allegedly, the doctor's appointment was at 3, and then they went to the baseball game or softball game, right? That's their story anyway. Yeah, I think so too, especially when he was on probation. Well, yeah, and underage alcohol. I think the doctor would be a mandatory reporter. Wait, who likes Fred? Kate, you. We can discuss that tonight. Do you like Benny's haircut too? That's kind of wild looking thing. I don't know. I got to go see what's going on now with I See Benny went live after that thing, and I heard Tiffany Marie was over on Chasing's arguing with her. I don't know. I don't actually watch lives. I read the transcripts. So, and Benny never has a transcript. So, so if they don't have a transcript, oh well. I can't. I tried once, and I can't understand what he's talking about. And the people in chat are like, "Oh yeah, loving on him and everything," and I'm like, it doesn't make any sense to me. He made more sense back in Monica Sherrod days with the pizza guy. Yes, did you see it, Annabelle? That was horrible. And there's a certain creator, I don't want to mention the name because I don't want to be a target, but they seem to interject themselves into everybody's channel and kind of take over, until they fall out, and then they go take over someone else's channel, kind of like a co-host. Does anybody know what they're talking about? Who I'm talking about? Well, they said they took him to the doctor and then went to that was the story. He had the doctor's appointment at 3. And then went to the softball game. So I don't know. Yeah, from what I just went through the chat and read, and I was like appalled. Just appalled. It was like a bloodbath, really. They were just chopping down everybody, inflicting wounds on everyone, I guess. It's his voice and countryness. Oh my goodness. Wisconsin Mama, we're going to have an intervention with KU tonight. Oh my goodness. Okay, I think we're about done. I like to keep it around 2 hours, unless anybody has any more questions. And, we can go through some suspects in Summer's case next week. Kind of eliminate them. I think we eliminated everybody from Rose's. Kind of went through and tried to eliminate some of the rumors. So, is that it? I don't see any more questions. And I'm not behind anymore. Okay, appreciate everybody coming. As always, all opinions are welcome. I have an awesome chat, I really do. I love everybody here. Everybody's nice and thoughtful and sensible, and we can discuss anything. Well, I don't know how sensible Kate is being about liking Fred, but anyway. Okay, Crazy Chicken Lady, I'll get to work on that hat for you. I'll have to whip up a bow tie. Thanks, Annabelle. Same to you. You have a good night, too. Thanks, Wisconsin Mama. I wish you'd come up with me again, like old times. I don't know why you're camera shy. Good night, Rakes. Good night, Deborah Ann. Good night, everybody. Have a good weekend, and we'll see you next week. Good night, Bob. We'll see you later, too.